Jim, what's with the sad look?
My son has a test coming up soon, but he hasn't been studying. I'm concerned about his grades.
I can see how that could be problematic. What if I told you there are ways to improve his study habits?
Really? How?
By using operant conditioning techniques, you can increase his studying behavior through reinforcement and punishment. There are four types of operant conditioning. One of them is called positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement involves the presentation of a pleasant stimulus following a response. For example, you might tell your son that if he studies for 1 hour, he'll be rewarded with a short break and maybe his favorite snack.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Negative reinforcement involves the removal of an unpleasant stimulus following a response. For instance, when he meets his studying goals, you could stop nagging him about studying, which might make him more likely to continue study in order to avoid the nagging.
Blah, blah, blah. Study, study, study.
Positive punishment involves the presentation of an unpleasant stimulus following a response. Unlike reinforcement, punishment leads to a decrease in behavior. Whereas reinforcement could be used after your son studies for his test, punishment could be used when he refuses to study. For example, if he doesn't study, you could give him additional chores around the house. Finally, there's negative punishment. Negative punishment involves the removal of a pleasant stimulus following a response. For instance, if your son doesn't study, you could remove his phone privileges for a certain period of time.
Wow. Thanks for explaining the different types of operant conditioning. Is there a certain type of conditioning that you would recommend?
For improving your son's study habits, I would recommend using positive reinforcement. There are problems with using punishment, such as the fact that punishment of maladaptive behavior, which in this case would be not studying, does not necessarily mean that the adaptive behavior, in this case studying, will occur more frequently. Meanwhile, positive reinforcement would directly encourage your son to study more frequently by rewarding adaptive behavior.
Thank you for all your help. I'll try implementing positive reinforcement techniques to help my son study for his test.
No problem, Jim. No problem at all.